With bullet fragments still lodged in his leg, the latest victim of another Albuquerque armed robbery is sharing his story after a gunman shot straight at him. News 13's Chris McKee heard the man's story firsthand. Chris?
Yeah, Jessica, it is a pretty incredible story for the victim. Circle K employee James Bride, not only because of how close of a close call it was, but also considering that the guy who shot him should have been in jail. James was taking a picture of the gunman when that gunman aimed and fired.
In the last 4 to 5 months, it is just, it's turned into hell.
It's James Bride's take on what crime is doing to Albuquerque.
It's out of control.
An assistant manager at the Circle K on Wyoming near Manal, his store has been robbed 4 times in 2 months. But last Friday,
it was burning. I knew exactly what it was.
James was shot, hit with bullet fragments that came after a gunman walked out his store.
I got a couple of small pieces in both of my calves, and then there's a small piece that's in my right thigh.
At 8:30 Friday morning,
this guy yelling at my cashier.
APD says Eric Reddick pulled a handgun on a clerk and took off with $40.
That's when he's stepping right past me, gun in his hand, and he went out the door.
James says he tried to get a picture of the robber with his phone when the guy leaned out his car and took aim.
He literally reached out the window and shot right at me.
The bullet hit the door frame, splitting into pieces that hit James and a customer. He calls his injuries minor, but says he won't forget how it happened. Reddick should have been in jail. He was locked up in July on assault charges, but the Bernalillo County DA's office misplaced his file and missed his indictment, so a judge dropped the case, letting Reddick out. James met DA Raul Torres today.
He apologized that they had made a mistake.
He also shared his story.
He wanted me there because he wanted to put a face on the mistake that they had made and shared it with his entire team.
He's now hoping his story resonates with the rest of the community too.
As an individual, all I can do is just share my voice, share my experience, but we need to change things.
Now, James told us today that he has returned to work this week and that this robbery won't keep him away from his job. Jessica?
All right, thank you, Chris. Police identified and arrested the accused robber, Eric Reddick, because of surveillance video. He remains in MDC tonight on a no bond hold.